Do you want to learn how to stop being a perfectionist? In this video, we'll explain why it's important to stop perfectionism. Plus, we'll cover 9 strategies to overcome perfectionism now. This is Ambition Candy, insights and motivation for your happiness and success.
Are you a perfectionist? As a child, you were probably taught that you should always do your best. Over time, that message may have changed to never accept less than perfection in your work. Of course, you feel great when you know that you've done an amazing job.
Perfectionism can be seen as a noble quality to strive for in everything you do, but there's a negative side to it. An obsession with perfection can cause you to feel overwhelmed, become indecisive, and procrastinate. This often leads to feelings of stress, anxiety, and even burnout. True perfection is impossible. Even when we do our best, things can go wrong, or we may not achieve the desired results, despite our best efforts.
The solution is to change your mindset and your intentions. Stop aiming for absolute perfection. Instead, simply try to do your best given the limitations of time, your competing priorities, and the level of importance of the task. For difficult endeavors, focusing on making continuous improvements and being satisfied with seeing progress is better than striving for perfection.
In this video, we'll take a look at what perfectionism means. Then we'll cover 9 ways to overcome perfectionism. Before you can attempt to overcome perfectionism, you have to know what it is and how it may be affecting you. Perfectionists have a drive to be perfect, be seen as perfect, or believe that perfection is possible. It is often seen as a positive characteristic that increases your chances of success.
The negative traits of being a perfectionist could include being highly critical of yourself, beating yourself up when you don't achieve what you want to, and being focused only on results. These downsides of perfectionism can make it harder to achieve your goals. If you're a perfectionist, you may have trouble seeing a good result as good enough if it's not perfect. Here are 9 strategies to combat perfectionism.
Strategy number 1. Recognize when your best is not required. You're busy. You can't give everything equal focus and energy. There are situations when doing your absolute best on a task is not the best use of your time.
Ask yourself, how important is this? How much time should I be spending on this? Prioritize what's important and channel your best efforts on those things. Less important tasks require less attention to detail and scrutiny than others.
For tasks that have a low level of importance or don't have significant consequences, accept that good enough is good enough. This change in perspective will help reduce the stress you might be feeling by having too much to do.
Strategy number 2. Change your intention from performing perfectly to doing your best. When it does matter, of course, you should try to do your absolute best. Performing well on key tasks and projects is crucial to achieving your goals.
However, you need to balance your ambition with rational expectations. When you have unrealistic hopes of perfection, you will constantly be falling short, which can lead to disappointment.
Playing the perfection game, which you know you can't win, may lead to depression. By shifting your aspirations to awesome but not perfect, you can reduce your levels of stress and anxiety.
Strategy number 3. Have a backup plan. Despite your best efforts, things can go wrong. A perfectionist can be thrown off by problems and frustrations. Make a plan for what can go wrong and take action to prepare for the possible obstacles you might encounter. Just remember that you can't control every variable, except that some things might still not work out as planned. This flexibility can keep you from getting overly upset when things go wrong.
Strategy number 4. Develop self-compassion. When you don't live up to your standards, avoid judging yourself harshly. Dwelling on your mistakes can lower your self-confidence. If you're constantly angry or frustrated, you can become defensive. Are you trying to be perfect to avoid judgment or blame? Don't be afraid to admit your mistakes. If you're a perfectionist, you may fear not being seen by others as perfect. This can lead to a lack of honesty and authenticity in your relationships.
Strategy number 5. Learn from your mistakes. Use your experiences to improve yourself. Embrace constructive criticism and view it as helpful information. Focus on the process of learning. Strive to become more confident in your ability to improve as opposed to your ability to be perfect.
Strategy number 6. Focus on making progress, not achieving perfection. If you are working on a long-term goal or a large project involving many tasks, you can't try to do every single one of them perfectly. Trying to do this will lead to frustration, exhaustion, and giving up.
Instead, focus on making steady, ongoing progress. Take small steps daily to work towards your goals. Major endeavors require perseverance, not a rigid desire to do everything perfectly.
This is especially true in the areas of personal development. There is a temptation to rely on quick fixes that don't bring about lasting change. Change can be slow and often only sticks when it's done gradually. Focus on building good habits. Appreciate the progress you're making, even if it's not perfect.
Strategy number 7. Change your self-talk. Pay attention to your thoughts. Your perfectionism could lead you to tell yourself things like, "This needs to be perfect," or "It would be awful for me to make a mistake."
When you do a less than perfect job, you might think, "I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me," or "I'm a complete failure." Judgmental and negative messages can cause discouragement.
Change what you say to yourself. Try using self-talk like, "I will do my best. Even though it's not perfect, I still had fun." Or, "Even if I make a mistake, I can try again." These statements are more encouraging and keep you from giving up too quickly.
Strategy number 8. Celebrate wins and improvements. Perfectionists tend to discount any efforts that fall short of their ideas of perfection.
Did you get 8 things done today, but you planned to do 11? Do you look at those 3 unfinished tasks and feel like a failure at the end of the day? If so, you need to start recognizing what you are getting done.
Focus on the gains you achieve, regardless of the size. Small gains can help build momentum. Acknowledging even tiny wins can improve your self-confidence and belief in your abilities, motivating you to keep going.
Strategy number 9. Get comfortable with imperfection. If you have a history of high performance in a few areas, you might feel an overwhelming pressure to live up to your previous achievements. This can lead you to avoid trying anything new.
One way to overcome this is to attempt something you've never done before or to learn a new skill. Accept that there's no way you'll do it perfectly, so you might as well relax. Take pleasure in the experience of doing something interesting and enjoy the process of learning.
A perfectionist mindset can lead to living a small life because you lack the courage to try new things and take risks. You could be missing out on fun experiences because you're afraid you'll look silly if you don't do it right. Recognize that even when you aren't perfect, you're still okay, and you're probably having more fun.
Remember the expression, "Perfect is the enemy of good." This means that attempts at perfection are impossible and can cause frustration, stress, and even depression. These negative side effects get in the way of the good, of getting things done efficiently and enjoying the process.
The need to be seen as perfect is often born out of fear. If you want more help in overcoming your fears, be sure to check out our Fear of Failure video. There's a link in the description box below.
Let's do a quick review of the techniques you can use to overcome perfectionism.
Number 1, recognize when your best is not required.
Number 2, change your intention from performing perfectly to doing your best.
Number 3, Have a backup plan.
Number 4, develop self-compassion.
Number 5, learn from your mistakes.
Number 6, focus on making progress, not achieving perfection.
Number 7, change your self-talk.
Number 8, celebrate wins and improvements.
And number 9, get comfortable with imperfection.
Perfection is based on an external standard that is impossible to achieve. No one is perfect. It is more healthy and more practical to focus on making progress, continuing to get better. By following the 19 strategies we outlined above, you can overcome perfectionism. Shoot, I said 19. It's supposed to be 9. I can take it back again.
No, it's fine. We'll leave it.
You want to just leave it?
Yeah, it's okay. You know what? It's not the end of the world.
Right. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I mean, you sure you want to have that in there?
Yeah, you made a mistake. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep rolling.
All right.
For things that aren't so important, practice doing a good enough job on purpose. Notice the results. You're fine. Life goes on. With enough exposure to imperfection, you can get used to it.
For more help, check out the resources in the description box below and leave a comment letting us know about the challenges you're facing as you pursue your goals. This will help us make truly useful content.
Knowing what to do is only half the battle. Lasting change comes after you've turned these ideas into habits. Bookmark this video and come back to it whenever you need a reminder or motivation to fuel your ambition.
If you look for perfection, you will never be satisfied.